David, on Friday some pretty sensitive information with regard to the UCI's target testing at last year's Tour de France was made public in L'Equipe. How do the riders feel about this information being out there in the public domain?
Shocked and incredibly disappointed. I mean, we put a lot of belief into the biological passport. I mean, I think it's a tool that we cannot lose within the sport, it's helping us massively. But then to see the UCI let us down, I mean, massively, and to see L'Equipe be so irresponsible in their journalism. I mean, it's all the analysis of that data is subjective, even by the best experts in the world, and we get the opinion from this list that their subjective analysis is not correct. There seems to be too many anomalies in it, and it just doesn't really add up, and that doesn't give us confidence in what they're doing. So, and there are guys in there that are being tarnished, but who are 100% innocent and clean, and I think that's horrific. It's not fair, and so I think, all in all, the UCI and L'Equipe are not helping our sport in any way whatsoever.
And I mean, and not wanting to turn suspicion on anybody, but I mean, how do you feel about, you were given an index of 4, I mean, how does that make you feel when you read something like that, or what do you think the explanation for that is? I
mean, it depends on how, this is the thing, we have no idea on how they've made their analysis. I mean, it might be simply because I'm an ex-doper. I may never be able to get below 4. But then you've had Basso's at 3, so he's 1 point below me.
But it seems that the criteria was based on the biological passport, like the rankings are based on biological passport information, but beyond that we don't.
But I mean, I'd like to know exactly how, because if it's done, if they've just taken 2 readings from the month before or something, I mean, it doesn't add up, because I think, as far as I know, my data before the Tour was the same as it is before most of my big objectives, when I had a tapering period beforehand and my blood levels get a little bit higher. That's just what athletes do. They rest before their objectives and their levels go up slightly, and that should be seen in the passport profile. So it's very strange. I mean, I haven't, like I said, I haven't had an injection since my comeback, even before that. So it's been almost 8 years since I've had any injectable recovery or anything. I haven't had a TUE in that same amount of time. The only people who've been injecting me are the UCI since my comeback, and so then to have them judging me as a 4 it seems a bit, I don't know, odd. But I mean, I think I'm quite lucky compared to some guys who've been judging higher than that.
Yeah.
They certainly don't deserve to be there.
And I mean, obviously, like you said, there seem to be anomalies or variables with individuals, and maybe it's not fair to focus on individuals, but looking at nation by nation and team by team, it makes interesting reading with the French teams and Garmin in particular, sort of at the lower end of the scale, Astana, Radio Shack at the upper end of it.
You have to understand, with this profiling, there are always going to be anomalies, even with the best experts in the world. It's just because it is always subjective analysis, because we are talking about human beings here. We're not machines. Everybody reacts differently to different things. And in order to read the profiles and make judgments, you have to read them on all the factors that are involved and take it. You have to absorb so much information on the periphery, outside also of the actual blood test results, to take into account whether that person should be targeted or not. Now it looks like they've just taken it from 2 readings or something. Like I said, it's very disappointing.
I mean, what can the UCI do to sort of rebuild trust with the riders? And I mean, because this is, like you said, it's damaging to the biological passport. This sort of information is.
Exactly, it's damaging to UCI. I think the biological passport is a fantastic tool. I think it's something that riders we will always stand by. I think the UCI need to learn to use it better, and I think they need to actually man up and apologise and say they've made a mistake. And L'Equipe similarly, because L'Equipe, if they think they're actually helping our sport, then they're very wrong.
Great, thanks.